Hi guys, welcome. Class will be starting in a few minutes. Extremely excited to have you here. Yes, just waiting for class to come. So come on in. If you don't have a mat, that's completely fine. Don't worry about that. Just get a nice blanket rolled out, or even just a few towels on top of each other so that they're nice and warm. Feel free to grab your pet. Audrey, if you haven't met Audrey, this is her. And come say hello. Oh, he's a good gal. Yay. So we'll start in a couple of minutes. And yeah, again, we'll just wait for everyone to start subscribing. Okay. Yay, people. Hello. Welcome. So excited. If you've just joined in, that's awesome. Welcome, everybody. I can't quite see who's here because I'm over on my mat, but I can see people joining. So welcome. So excited to have you all on board. And yeah, we'll get started just in a couple of minutes. And if you've just joined, again, no stress if you don't have a mat. You can just get a few towels and lay those out. They will work just as fine. Also a very good idea to have a couple of pillows. We'll definitely be using those. So if you've got time to run and grab a couple of pillows, nice big soft ones are a good idea. And we'll also need a hand towel, something we've prepared earlier. We'll just be using it a couple of times, but definitely for the end in Shavasana. So please go and grab a hand towel and just another towel as well. So that's all you'll need. Somewhere comfortable to lie, a towel and 2 pillows, and your dog. Optional, but I'd say necessary. Thanks, Audrey. Okay. Yay, more people. Hello. Okay. So we'll start in 1 minute. So please start again if you're grabbing things. No rush. We've still got another minute to go, so that's fine. Good girl. And just start to get comfortable. If you do want to light a candle, or if you have any oils, if you want to go and grab those now and put those on, or if you want to lower the lights or anything like that, please feel free to go and do that now. Thanks, Audie. Good girl. Okay. Suspense. 30 more seconds and we'll get started. Yay. Okay. So if you're new to yoga, welcome. Very excited to have you. This class will just be very much about relaxation, and we'll be opening the hips a little bit, so it's not as scary as it sounds, and just trying to release a lot of tension, especially over just everything that's happening in the world right now. I think that everybody is kind of feeling the pressure or the stress in one way or another. So yeah, I'm thinking of you, and I really hope that this class can give you just some relaxation and hopefully release a lot of stress, tension, and give you a really good night's sleep. So perfect. So we'll get started in 10 seconds. So again, if you've just joined, you'll just need 1 towel, 1 hand towel, and 2 pillows. Perfect. Okay, so we're going to get started. All right. Firstly, grab your pillow and we're going to sit up on it. And the reason for this is that it elevates our spine a little bit. It makes us a bit straighter. So we'll be a little bit just off the ground here. Okay. Crossing both of our legs. So we want our legs just a little bit lower, lifting our hips there. You have a couple of options. If you're new to yoga and you're not quite sure about where to put your hands, the reason we do this is that we're connecting with ourselves. So if you'd like to give it a go, you can. After a while, it becomes habit. Definitely don't have to do that. Options are that you can place both of your hands down on your knees, palms down, or if you'd like to be more open, you can have your palms just facing up. We're going to just sit here for 5 minutes and just go through a little bit of a relaxation. So firstly, just start by rolling your shoulders up. Take an inhale and then exhale, lower them down. Going to do that again. So inhale and then exhale. Drop our shoulders back down. We're gently going to roll our neck to our right side, just very slowly and mindfully when we're moving our head. And then back to center. And then over to our left-hand side. And then back to center. So finding a position that's really comfortable for you and start to sink down. Allow your feet to feel heavy. Allow your sit bones to feel heavy. One more time, just lift up those shoulders. And then on your exhale, through your mouth, just completely surrender. Breathing at your normal pace. Just starting to bring awareness to the breath and just how heavy those legs and feet are starting to feel. Inhaling in and exhaling out. Continue with this breath for a moment. And keep your eyes closed down. Inhaling in and exhaling. On your next breath, start to pay attention to the cool air at the back of your throat when you inhale. So inhale and feel that cool air at the back of your throat, and then exhale. Do this 5 more times. Really paying attention to the sensation in your body and that air. Take the dog. Oh, no, it's okay. Inhaling. And exhaling. When we start to be mindful and connect with our breath and coming to the current moment, it actually starts to calm our whole body now, our whole body down. Notice any feelings of calmness as to when you first sat on the mat. Perhaps your body feels a little slower. Perhaps your breath is a little slower. And this is an opportunity to really start to deepen our breath and open up our chest and our heart space. So with our next 3 breaths, make those a little bit deeper. So inhaling through our nose, hold, and exhaling through our mouth. Inhaling through our nose, hold, exhaling through our mouth and really exaggerate it. One more breath. Inhaling through our nose. Hold. And exhale. One more time. Reach your shoulders high. Exhale. Releasing that tension. We're going to start to do a little bit of movement. So you can open your eyes. And we're just going to move our neck one more time to the right. Back to the middle. Back to the left. And back to the middle. Okay. And now we can move that pillow. So move that pillow away. That's essentially just about feeling a little bit calmer, a little bit more settled. I really hope you enjoyed the sweet sounds of my dog grooming throughout that meditation. She hasn't done that all day, but now that she's on camera. So thank you, Audrey. I might just actually lose her for the just for a little bit. Okay. So just getting settled again on your mat, and we're going to start coming into some movement. And then we will move into some very deep relaxation. So for now, a nice straight spine, legs crossed. If at any time any of these feel painful or you don't want to go into the full stretch, please just come back to center, and we'll go from there. So, oh yes, yoga with dogs. Excellent. She should go to sleep in a minute. So thanks, guys. We're going to start by bringing our hands to center. On an inhale, we're going to raise both hands up to the sky. And then exhale, taking our right palm just to the right of our sit bone. And exhale, we're going to stretch over. So take an exhale. On our next inhale, going to reach just a little bit further. Have your head on an angle wherever it feels comfortable. And you should really feel that stretch in the left-hand side. You can feel free to close your eyes down. Otherwise, it's just about movement for the next 5 minutes and just getting our body warmed up to get into our poses. Coming back to center with an inhale. And then exhale, placing our left palm to our left sit bone. Exhaling, side stretch. Inhale. And then on our exhale, just reaching a little bit further. Couple of breaths here. And just feel the sensations that you can notice in that body with that stretch really opening up. And then returning to center on a big inhale. And then exhale, palms back to chest. Inhale, reaching up again. And then we're going to exhale, putting our right palm back to the sit bone, back next to the sit bone where it was. And this time, keeping our back straight, we're going to twist. So from our shoulder and torso area, placing our left palm onto our right knee and just looking over our shoulder a little bit there. So gaze just out in direction with that shoulder. We're going to take 5 breaths here. And then inhale, both arms back up to center. And then exhale, doing the same on the other side. So left palm back next to our left sit bone. And then taking our right hand to our left knee. And just holding for another 4 breaths. You can apply a little bit of pressure on that palm into your knee to give you a deeper stretch. Again, remember to just tune into that breathing when you can. try and make it a habit to just come back and see where your breathing is at. And then inhale. Both arms back up to center. And then exhale, back into prayer pose, hands at chest. Going to grab our hand towel. So if you just get that out in front of you, if you tuned in a little bit later, that's okay, welcome. And please just go and grab a hand towel. That would be awesome. Okay. And we're going to lift both hands up to the sky now. Again, if any of this feels like it's too much on your body, just come back into a seated position and just shut down your eyes and focus on your breath. We're going to squeeze the hand towel a little bit and just pull our arms just very slowly with not much pressure at all, pulling our arms away from each other. And you should be able to feel quite an intense stretch there in the triceps. And we're just going to take 5 breaths here. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more deep inhale with our chest wide open. And then on our exhale, we can lower back down. All right. And we're going to come into some cat-cows. If you haven't done those before, that's completely fine. You can just follow my lead. Audrey. Okay, so placing our knees and feet on the ground there, and we want to have our palms down in front of us, so planted quite firmly. And this is a tabletop position, so our spine is neutral and our head is aligned there. And then we're going to inhale up into a cat. So slowly lifting our head forward, chin out forward. And then exhaling into cow, which really elongates the spine. And then moving through again, so inhaling into our cat. This is a stretch that you should feel all through your back, and it really just wakes up all of the muscles, getting them ready to go. And then exhaling. One more time, so inhale into cat. Deep breath. And then exhale. And now we're just going to start to find any movement that we can. So keeping our knees, feet, and palms planted, we're just going to go around in some circles. Can you take the dog? Bless Audrey, she's been quite special for this class. Okay. And just go the other way, doing some circles. And start to just connect with your breath again. Take any movements that you like. You might just want to come back. Maybe go forward a little bit. It's just about completely connecting with your body and just learning to feel kind of what your body wants and any movements you would like to take. Okay. And now we're going to tuck our toes under. Now, if you're new to yin, I would recommend that you stay here and that you can just apply a little bit of pressure. Sorry, Audrey might like to go up on the bed and have a little sleep. Okay. Okay. So just applying a little bit of pressure again there into our toes. If you would like a more of an intense stretch, you have the option to come up on your knees. And this will be our first long hold. So again, if you would like to stay here, and this is really going to release tension through our feet and our ankles. So if you're new, please stay here. You will start to feel it. Or if you'd like something a little bit more advanced, you have the option to come up into a prayer pose. Or also for a more intense stretch, you can come into a reverse prayer pose. But just stay wherever is comfortable for you. Start to really focus on your breath. Take some inhales here, some exhales. And with any distractions, really just try to focus on your breath. That includes excessive dog grooming. With yin, we hold our poses for a lot longer. It's very different to vinyasa and flow. And the idea of holding this, it's not so much when you're in the pose that you feel the benefit. It is definitely when you come out of the pose and you start to feel that release of our connective tissues. We hold so much tension in our body, in our muscles. So when we do release, we get to feel that amazing sensation in our body. We'll hold for 30 more seconds. If at any time this is too much for you, just a reminder to please come out. You can return to a seated position or wherever you're comfortable. Don't worry about any distractions, just inhale. And exhale. Inhale. Exhale. That's our first long pose, and we have been in it for a little while. So very, very gently and mindfully, whether you were here or if you're in this position, we just want to walk our hands forward a little bit, placing our weight onto our knees, just allowing our feet to stretch out there. And we can gently just roll our ankles. So side to side. Okay, and just a little bit more movement before we come into our deep poses where we'll be able to just completely shut down and focus on our breath. So back into a tabletop. Before we do go into these poses, we always want to ensure that we're warmed up nicely. So back in your tabletop, we're going to take our left palm and raise it to the sky, and then bring it under our right arm, and we can have our palm facing up and then lowering down with our head, so facing the direction of your palm, and you can stay here, or if you would like a little bit of a deeper stretch, then you can move that right palm out in front of you and place pressure onto that right palm. Again, if you're new, I would recommend that you just stay here. This is quite an intense stretch for your shoulder, so we're going to stay here for 1 minute. Again, you can just really focus on your breath, on the inhale and the exhale. And you can even start to pay attention to things that you wouldn't usually, such as how the surface feels under you, what you can feel under your big toes or your face. And that's called mindfulness, where we're just bringing our attention into the present moment. Three more breaths here. Remember to really exaggerate that exhale, releasing as much tension as we can. Tuning out of any distractions around us. And then again, nice and slowly, moving that right palm back up to us, placing pressure on that, and then coming back into our tabletop. And we'll be doing that on the other side. So reaching our right palm up to the sky and then threading through. This is called threading the needle. So we're taking our right palm will face up and then lowering down, this time with our right face facing the mat, and then option to extend, always making sure that we're doing the same thing on the other side so that we're completely balanced. Again, tuning out of any distractions. If anyone comes in and interrupts you at home, that's okay. Just try and return to your breathing. Your body will really should be starting to kind of feel the changes now. And I highly encourage you to try and just slower your breathing down. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. Okay, mindfully walking that left palm back next to you, coming back up into a tabletop. It's going to get onto our knees here. Interlacing our hands behind us, and we're just doing a nice stretch. Stay here for just one moment and grab your two pillows if you can. As much as my dog is my very best friend in the world, we are about to move into some really deep relaxation, and her grooming has been a little bit distracting. So thank you, Audrey. Say, yeah, bye. You'll be back later. Note to self for first live yoga session. Maybe not dog bath time. Okay. So, grabbing our two pillows here, we want to put them in front of us. If you're experienced at yoga, then you can absolutely come into a wild-legged child's pose. If you're new to yoga, it might be better for you to just come into a bit more of a beginner's child's pose, which would be having our legs just a little bit closer together. And then, so I'll just show you a couple of variations. And from here, things will really start to quieten down. And the next half an hour will very much be about relaxation now that we're nice and warmed up with our bodies and ready to go. So we want to bring our pillows in a little bit closer to us. Again, yin yoga is about finding your edge. So we don't want to go out too wide or do anything that's uncomfortable that we won't be able to hold for a period of time. So finding where your legs are comfortable, and we want to gently just come in. You might want your pillows a little bit closer to you. So this is a supported child's pose. If you have a bolster at home, you can use that, but this is just a very home-friendly good night class. So pillows are just as perfect, if not better, I think. And then we want to lean to one side. So preferably, I like my hips open a lot more, and Coming back down. So we are going to hold here for 3 minutes. So this will be a much longer pose. Okay. And this is just a time for us to completely surrender. Surrender down. Listen to the sounds around us. I'll play some ocean waves for you at home. And we'll be here for 3 minutes. Just quite nose down a little bit, and feel free to turn nose down at home if you want to. I also encourage you, if you want to turn any lights up around you or make it darker, we are moving into yin, so I want you to feel nice and comfortable and rested and really focusing on that breath. Yin is the opposite to flow, where we're reaching up to the sky and opening up, and yin we're letting gravity do the work. In child's pose especially, that's putting pressure on our hips, releasing tension. You can feel the pressure on our ankles and our feet. And again, it's very much after the pose where we start to feel the benefits of yin coming. Just focus on the breathing. And very gently, we're just going to lift our head, and we're just going to place it to the other side of our pillows. Notice any changes that you can feel. And again, just really surrendering, allowing your full weight to be heavy on the ground. Inhaling and exhaling. You have nowhere to be right now other than with yourself. Just an incredible time to connect and just be. Letting go of any thoughts. Sometimes when we do stop is when our mind can start to be the busiest. And this is just such a good opportunity to inhale, exhale, and just be. So very gently, again, when we're holding these poses for a long period of time, we do need to move slowly when we're coming out of them. So putting a lot of pressure on our palms and coming back up. Just move your pillows forward a little bit. And then just coming back into a tabletop position. Okay. And just coming back into more of a closed child's pose. Back up into tabletop. And just gently rotate those, move those hips a little bit side to side. And we'll be coming into a pose called a D pose. If this is new to you, just follow me. So with our left hip, so we want our pillows stacked on top of each other. And then with our left hip, we're going to sit the side of our body, so the side of our left knee and left hip against our pillows. So we want our legs to look a little something like this, so in this shape. Okay. And then this will be our first twist. So you might need to move your pillows just a little bit to the left. If you're new to deer pose, I highly recommend, if this is your first twist, to just, so you want to twist around like this and then just gently lay down, finding where it's comfortable for you, and then laying our head down on the side like that. If you need to rearrange or anything like that, or if you need any extra pillows or support, please feel free to grab them. If you're experienced at yin and would like a little bit more of a deeper pose, then we're going to twist and have our head in the opposite direction. So just get nice and comfortable. We are going to hold this pose for 5 minutes. If at any time, again, you want to come out of it, please do so and go into a child's pose or a seated position. Otherwise, just surrender for 5 minutes. If you're feeling tired, like you want to go to sleep, it's definitely normal when you're nice and comfortable. Try to really focus your attention on your breath. You've probably heard a lot that breathing is our anchor. It definitely is. It's one thing that I would definitely encourage you to take off your mat today or tonight or for tomorrow. To just pay attention to that breathing. each exhale, just allow yourself to surrender a little deeper into the pose and let everything go. We have 1 more minute in this deer pose. Really just focus on your exhale, exaggerated. And notice any sensations and how calm your body is hopefully starting to feel. If you are feeling uncomfortable in this pose, be reminded to please move out of it. But it's also learning to sit with the uncomfort, with the uncomfortable position. It builds a great amount of strength in our body. And just focusing all of this on the sensations, which is mindfulness. Five more breaths here. We've been here for some time, so again, we really want to come out of this slowly. So placing both arms to the side of our ribs, both palms down, using pressure on our hip and our legs to lift us up. You should be feeling that. Gently move the pillows to just one side, and then we're going to lay flat on our tummy, putting our head to one side, and just take a notice to feel that one side of the body and the hips in the back, any new sensations that weren't there before. And just take 5 breaths here. It's so important that we learn to calm our body, calm our central nervous system, and be able to listen to what our body is telling us. Very gently, I encourage you to keep your eyes shut down as much as you can. We're going to move into the other side of our deer pose. So placing our pillows back to where they were, slightly to the right. And this time, with our right hip against our pillows. So we should have our right knee in front and right hip at the back. Same, we want our legs out in that same shape as the other side. And moving into our twist. Again, if you're new to deer pose, I encourage you to keep your face the same side as the way that your knees are facing. Otherwise, if you'd like to deepen your stretch, you can find the other side. This is a really deep hip stretch, as was our child's pose we did earlier. And it's said that we hold so much tension and stress in our hip area, so this is a great opportunity to release them, to release some tension. And we'll be here for 4.5 minutes. I really want you to connect with yourself and your breathing and just learn to completely surrender. So on each exhale, remember to just soften where you can. Think about softening your face down, softening your jaw, softening your fingertips as almost just sinking completely into the floor, into the ground. Just 1 more minute on this side in our deer pose. Okay. Again, extremely slowly. Our body has been in this position for quite some time, so just being careful coming out of it, placing both of our palms on the ground there, lifting ourselves up, and then laying back flat onto our tummy. Heading the other opposite direction that it was before. And noticing any sensations you can feel on the other side. If your body feels a little bit different to what it usually does, that's excellent. We're having a really good stretch out. Just 5 more breaths here. Now, very carefully, we are going to come up onto our back. We don't want to do too many sudden movements when we're stretching our body out so intensively. So just very slowly come onto our back. It can be normal for our temperature to drop during yin when we're doing all of these poses. So if you do want to get a blanket at any stage or turn up the heat, then I highly encourage you to do that. We're going to come into what's called a banana pose, which is one of my absolute favorite poses in the world. And it is going to really stretch out our side body. So laying on our back here, we can actually bring our feet up for this bit. We're going to move our hips to the right hand side and then put our legs back down. And we actually want to take our feet in the opposite direction to our hips, but making sure our right sit bone and hip are still on the floor. So we want to walk our legs over a little bit to the left, and then with our arms over our head, we want to walk our legs and we want to walk our hands and our feet and our head, our top body is what I'm trying to say, over to our left hand side. Again, if you're new to these poses, I would encourage you to stay here. If you're looking for a deeper stretch, then you can go a little bit further, just to your edge. Again, we're holding, so nothing too intense. And then you're welcome to cross your right ankle over your left and perhaps hold your right palm over your left wrist. Keeping our head just nice and relaxed on an angle. And we're going to hold here. When you inhale, you should feel a nice intense stretch in that side body. And this will also stretch out our arms, our shoulders. Focusing completely on our breath. On your exhale, if you're advanced and want to stretch a little bit further, and you found some space to do so, you can definitely do this. Otherwise, please continue to hold in the first position I showed you. We do not want to overstretch any of our muscles. On your exhale, again, try and soften everything that you can. Fully surrender down to your mat, being heavy. And just 10 more breaths on this side in our banana pose. And then very, very slowly, we'll be coming back to center, so we can walk those legs back. Gently move those hips back to the left so that your spine is completely straight, and then just laying flat on the mat for 10 breaths. You should be able to notice the sensation in the side of your body that's been stretched out. It should feel a little bit different. That's completely normal. Five more breaths. And we'll move into banana on our other side, so bringing our feet back up just to lift our hips to the left-hand side this time. And then legs back down, and we will walk them opposite direction to our hips, so a little bit to the right. And then lifting our arms overhead again, walking our hands, our head over so that we're making this banana shape. Again, option to stay here if you're new to this pose, because it is quite a deep stretch. Otherwise, lifting our left ankle over our right and our left wrist over our right palm. And on an exhale, stretching a little further. And just making sure that that left sit bone is still on the mat. just remember on your next exhale to fully surrender. Allow all of your body to sink right into your mat, towel or blanket or whichever surface you're on. Just completely surrender. Ten more breaths here. Focus again on that sensation of cool air at the back of your throat when you inhale. Extremely grounding to focus on our breath. Okay, and extremely slowly and gently, we're going to come back to center. So lifting up those hips, bringing them back in to center, making sure that spine is straight, lowering our arms down, palms facing up or down, whichever is your preference. And again, you should really be able to start feeling your body, those stretches now. It's completely normal if you feel a lot cooler. And again, please feel free to grab a blanket. And we'll just take 10 breaths here. Very, very gently, we're going to sit back up. Grab our two pillows again. This will be our last this will be our last pose before we go into Shavasana. Okay, so just in a nice seated position, putting both of our pillows in front of us, making sure that you're nice and comfortable. And we're going to very, very gently extend our arms out in front and then lower our head. We don't want to put any pressure on, we don't want to overextend or any pressure. So if you're just happy here, that's completely fine. Otherwise, you can come down a little bit more. So this is a supported forward fold. Inhale and then exhale. We will not be holding here for too long at all. On your inhale, hold, And then exhale. See if you can soften down, if your body will let you, just give you a little bit more length into this pose. Again, we won't be here for long, and this will be our last pose before we move into Shavasana. Exhale, try and lower just a little bit further. Just one more minute here, and a reminder to not put any extra pressure on yourself. If you are happy here, that's completely fine. Just getting one more forward stretch. Now, extremely slowly coming out of this, because we've done a forward fold. We want to just come back to center. We can raise our pillows, and I want you to get as comfortable as you possibly can for Shavasana. If you don't know what Shavasana is, it's wonderful, and it's what we all wait for. So I encourage you to get a blanket and cover yourself if you want to be nice and warm and cozy. And pop some very nice soft music on. Okay. With our hand towel, we're going to place that over our eyes there, so we have a little bit of weight on our face. Make yourself as comfortable as possible. Again, please feel free to put on a blankie. And completely surrender. Shut down your eyes. You may feel sensations in your body that you have never felt before. That's completely fine. Daily life can be so full of so many things to do, so many tasks, so many pickups and drop-offs. It's so important that we find our time, these moments, to fully surrender. This is our time to let go. With every exhale, just let go. So very slowly, we'll just start to bring attention back into our body, finding some movement in our fingers and our toes. And then we're going to roll onto our right side. And then very, very slowly making our way up into a seated position. And then placing our hands in front of our heart. In yoga, we bow our head in gratitude. So finding a moment of what you're grateful for. I'm very grateful for my teachers that taught me and are allowing me to teach you. And I send you all lots of love during this time and hope that you will join me again. And we say namaste. So thank you so much. If that was your first time doing yoga, I know I had a lot of beginners joining, so thank you very much for that. And I'll be back here again next Wednesday at 7:15. And yeah, I hope to see you then. And yes, again, apologies for my dog for the first 20 minutes of the class with her grooming session. I think her and I have different ideas of YouTube channels. So yeah, might try the cat next week. But thank you again. Please feel free to put any feedback in the comments, message me what you want to see more of. There'll be a lot of flows coming and a lot more intense workouts if that's what you're after. And I'll be uploading lots of videos for the kids too. So thank you. I hope you're feeling nice and rested and can sleep well. Thank you again for your support. That was the first class I've ever taught. So thank you. Have a great Wednesday night. Thank you. Bye.
Worked it out.